center with an opening up the wing. Hit the post with the shot. Cross court in a safe.
All right, welcome to That's Gross, a hockey pod where the hockey takes are iffy, the chirps are reckless, and the hosts, let's just say, there's a reason this is audio only. It's not called the Hot Hockey Pod for a reason, okay? Faces for radio, but brains for GMs. All right, let's introduce the guys. Lots has happened since we recorded 2 to 3 games each series. Let's start with JB. How much you've been watching, enjoying the playoffs so far?
Yeah, I've been trying to stay on top of it. Been pretty solid series so far. Definitely wish the Bruins were in the mix here, but I think overall it's been fun to watch. And some series kind of going the way that I anticipated. Some series not exactly the way I would have thought. So, looking to dive into it with you guys here.
Mm. And Jake, I know you tuck yourself in at around 10 p.m., but for the early games, any ones you've watched that stood out to you so far?
Yeah, I've been trying to watch everything, but I think in the East it's been pretty as expected.
Yeah. Well,
The
as we're
West,
watching this, or as we're recording this, we're watching Toronto, Ottawa. Toronto just pulled it off. You guys see that?
they just score.
Yeah.
No, I'm a little behind, so I didn't see that. But
Oh, my
no,
bad.
the West has been wild though. Very entertaining out West.
Mm.
Wild, wild West.
Sorry. So what is your favorite series so far?
I mean, as expected, I think you got to go with that Dallas Colorado series. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. But I think that Vegas Minnesota series has been pretty surprising, and it's definitely caught my eye a bit.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I'm actually watching that right now, and yeah, Minnesota's looked pretty solid. I mean, just meat and potatoes hockey right now.
Yeah,
Playing the body, and I mean, boys, that pass from Kaprizov the other night,
that's your boy, Matt
absolutely
Boldy.
insane. I know. So yeah, that's been a fun series to see. Hopefully, I'd honestly like to see Minnesota take them out, but we'll see how that one unravels.
Yeah, Minnesota's definitely a lot better than I expected.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into that a little bit. Um, I wanted to address. I mean, I took Dallas. Since we recorded, I personally, on a personal note, kind of backed off of that pick a little bit, but I'm staying with it because they're up 2-1. But I mean, with the injuries they're facing right now, and Colorado's a wagon too. I mean, you got McCarr, you got McKinnon, Landeskog back. We've talked about it. Dallas has led for 1 minute in this entire series.
I saw that. I think
Right.
I think they would take that all day, especially missing Robertson and Heiskanen. I don't know if either of them are expected to come back. I think Heiskanen has a chance to.
Yeah,
I think that you're taking that all day if you're Dallas.
definitely
Taking the first game in Colorado too.
huge.
Huge.
No, that was huge to see Sagan get on the board. Guy's a beauty. I mean, we can all probably root for Tyler Sagan. I mean, won
Oh
a
yeah.
cup with the Bees. Guy's a legend. But yeah, they've really like just stuck in it. They don't have the top dogs that Colorado has for sure, but their depth is like probably the best. They're probably the most deep team in the league, and it's showing because they're missing, one of their best forwards and they're by a mile their best defenseman. So yeah, hopefully Heiskanen comes back. I did want to say too, I talked about goaltending. Mackenzie Blackwood's been really good. The toothless wonder over there. I don't know if you guys saw that. He's got no front teeth, but he's been really good. But Ottinger had a solid game the other night, so um, they were able to pull that one off. But yeah, Vegas, Minnesota. I mean, people are sleeping on Minnesota big time. Kaprizov, two name over there, Eriksson Ek. Both of those guys missed like most of the season. I mean, that's like their two most important players, you know. Kaprizov is fucking unbelievable. So, um,
Yeah, he didn't miss a beat. He just jumped right in, and he's going a million miles an hour. So you need that out of him.
yep. You guys have any thoughts, JB, on Jets and the Blues? I think game 3 is tomorrow night, maybe, but it's 2-0 Jets.
Yeah, I think this was one of the ones that I kind of not didn't mention at the beginning, but was just saying it's kind of going the way expected. Um, Obviously, Monty went in there, kind of turned their season around a little bit, but I just think, I mean, Winnipeg's flying right now. So, I mean, I see
Oh,
Winnipeg.
two though. It's close.
Huh?
It's a close one. I mean,
Yeah.
one overtime, and I think the other one was an empty netter or something.
Yeah. No, I mean, they're still in the mix. It's playoffs. Anything can happen. But I just think if I'm putting my money on it, I'm going Winnipeg still.
So boys, they're actually playing right now, and
Oh, really?
St. Louis just scored 2 early goals.
Did they?
Yeah, there's 18 minutes left. So,
Good call for
or
watch.
16 minutes. They scored 2 goals in the first 3 minutes.
That's
A
why.
little bit of a hometown rush.
Yeah, so
See if
they,
they
they
can
came to
sustain it.
play. They're looking to tie that series up, or not tie it up, but tie it at home.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, I mean, if we're being honest, right? Like St. Louis, um, Minnesota, Ottawa, Montreal. I feel like they all kind of fall into that category of underdog. They're starting away, and they're not the best team in the series. But St. Louis and Minnesota are definitely teams that like they could go home and just make a serious push. I think Ottawa's cooked at this point, 3-0.
Yeah, they just lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think St. Louis, this series has been a lot closer than a 2-0 series lead. I think they're right there. I think if they take this game 3, it's a series again, and they're coming to play.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Well, look, we're bouncing around like you wouldn't believe on this one, but I forgot to mention, um, I don't know if this is me making it up or what it is, but I just have this feeling that McCarr, probably mostly McKinnon, they got a little bit of a beef going with Mikko Rantanen over there. That's just my feeling. It seems like he kind of took the same amount of money to go play for their rival. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? You think there could be some, you know, they're competitive guys. Like you think there's a little bit of a hey, fuck you, buddy.
Um, I think on the ice definitely, but I think off the ice it's not personal. I mean, Nate Dogg, that dude's a psychopath. Like he's going out there, he'll kill anybody. Like
Hmm.
he just wants to win. He's a true competitor. I mean, Rantanen did sign in Dallas. So they have no state tax, so it's a little cheaper for them
Yeah.
to sign him.
No, I agree. I just feel like you play there, you win a cup, all that. There's something underlying, but it kind of just makes it more entertaining to watch. Like I'm sure if you guys saw the OT winner, McKinnon or Rantanen was kind of involved in that.
Little
So
chip pass. How are you?
yeah,
Yeah,
doing
about time he got involved in that series.
yeah, it was his first point. So that was kind of for me like that was the most interesting part of the series is just how much is that going to play into it because I mean it's a huge storyline. Like he played there for so long, so good to see him get a point. Dallas is fun to watch. To me, I'm just kind of I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of watching Colorado as much as they are fun to watch. They're kind of easy to root against personally, but so I'm sticking Dallas in that one. But we can kind of move off of that. I mean, so much has happened since we last did this. The Canes and the Devils. That's kind of another one where it's like probably not much to talk about. Stankoven looks pretty good over there. Slavin's still just kind of a beast under the radar. I slept on Freddie. I think he's been pretty good in the series too. Um, but yeah, this one's a mismatch, so I don't know if there's much you guys even want to mention about that one.
Nah, I mean, I pretty much agree with everything you just said. I think it's tough too. I don't I don't know if you guys saw anything about is Luke Hughes still out? Is that like is he done for the series? Or I know he got injured, but I have no idea if he's back yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean the injuries that they're dealing with, and there's a lot of teams like in this. I guess it's almost like bouncing around again, but just in general, like I think you have teams that have some experience and will probably have the chance at a decent run, and then you have some teams that are fighting injuries, and I don't know. I mean, we'll get to it, but I got some stuff for Toronto. I think that they're in a different spot this year, but as far as Carolina, New Jersey, I don't see New Jersey doing anything. I think they're pretty much dead in the water. But
Yeah. No, honestly, I mean, we just kind of jumped right into this. I I wanted to ask you guys who's your cup pick because I don't think we did that in the last one. So why don't we just go into that? So JB, it seemed like you kind of were leading into something. Who do you got? Who's your pick?
yeah, yeah. I mean, this is tough. Might get chirped for this, and rightfully so. But um, it's honestly it's tough, right? Like I think the biggest thing. So I would say like Toronto in a sense, but my thing is I don't know
Oh,
if I
okay,
really see
buddy.
them beating Florida in round two. That's my thing. So like I think if they're able to beat Florida round two, then yeah, I think they win it all. But I think I don't personally see them beating Florida, so I think Florida does it. I think they get. I mean, they're already kind of moving here. I think some of those guys on the back end will start producing a little bit more and see if a guy like Marshawn gets hot. I mean, we've seen him do it before. So I think I'm gonna go Florida, but yeah, long-winded answer there. I have no idea,
So you
boys.
didn't
Not gonna lie to you.
you didn't pick one there though. I mean, I
I
agree
said
with
Florida. I think Florida is probably gonna do it, but
Florida.
there's
So
a small part of me, and chirp me for it. I want Toronto. Like I said it in the last pod, they've been building for a long time now. They
hmm
got some pieces in there. They brought Carlo in. I don't know. Just from watching them, like they've been a pretty fun team to watch. I mean, we'll see what they do. I mean, they might completely shit to bed if they play Florida. I could definitely see that happening, but like they're just a decently fun team to watch, right? They're flying around. They got high end skill. Mike, we've talked about it. I think we brought it up on the last pod too. I mean, what's going to happen with Mitch Marner? I mean, there's a lot of unsettled business over in Toronto that I mean, did you boys see the clip of Berube feeding Savard?
yeah, I did see that. He doesn't want him celebrating
I,
goals in the first period or something.
yeah, and I mean, I love it, dude. Like,
Yeah.
let's prove something first, and then start celebrating. So, I mean, maybe a little bit of a coaching change, and these guys, how many more cracks are you going to have at it? Like, you got to move Marner or whatever, and see what happens in free agency. But
hmm
I don't know. I think they're a fun team to watch. So I'll lead them off the chin if there's any chirps coming. But
No, I like it. I'm glad you brought a lot of that up, but I'll throw to Jake. What's
Yeah,
your
I'm not gonna lie. I think you're smoking crack if you think the Leafs are gonna win the cup, but I
buddy,
like
I
your I
just
like
said
your
Florida, dude.
I know I like your pick with Florida. Um, and I think you're crazy for rooting for the Leafs too. But
Yeah. I don't
anyway,
see, let me just jump in though, because I don't see why. Like, I think we had said this off pod, real quick. We had talked about the Bruins not being involved, and it kind of makes it easier. Like it would suck if the Bruins or if the Bruins lost to them in the first round and we had to watch them then go win the cup. But the fact the bees are out, dude, we're already at lowest point. It's like fuck it, dude. Let the Leafs have something, man.
oh
I would
no,
cheer for them.
no, absolutely not. I hope they never win another cup again for as long as I live. I hope I could see those scumbag fans suffer. Yeah, fuck you, Toronto. For our
Yeah,
one for
it's
our
been a
one
while.
Toronto Maple Leaf fan listener, go fuck yourself.
That might even be that might be generous there.
It might be a stretch, but
But yeah,
um,
who's your pick?
see, I like Colorado. That's who I took in my bracket to win. But like I said in the first episode, I think whoever comes out of this series, like I like Dallas too. Like I think if they can get healthy, like that's a hard team to beat. That's a hard team to beat.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say Colorado just because they are healthy right now.
hmm
But and then Florida, I can't really argue with that too. They're hard to beat. I think they're definitely coming out of the East. I don't really see much of anybody that can really stop them. They're
Mm.
rolling. They're rolling already. Matthew Kachuk had 2 goals last night. And it was his first game back in like 2 months.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you brought that up too, because I'll say who I'm gonna pick, but good points from both of you. Honestly, I'm pretty much exactly in the same boat. I like Colorado. You mentioned Dallas. I definitely agree on Toronto, and then Florida, like you just brought up. I mean, dude, Tampa Bay is a great hockey team, but if you've watched these first two games, they can't do anything. They can barely get shots on net, dude. It's crazy. Like Florida's, they just get it, man. Like they just know how to defend, and then obviously their team is so deep, and they have one of the best goalies in the league. So and then yeah, Brad Marchand edition, which I don't know if I'm a jackass for missing Marchand, even though it's pretty much like he's been cheating on me. That's what it feels like watching him in a Florida Panther jersey. But it's also so fitting. I mean, they literally throw rats on the ice. So just feels fitting in a fucked up way. But look, in a roundabout answer, I think I'm gonna pick Toronto. I'm gonna go for it.
Bubbling down.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Jake, let's hear. What do you got? Come on, feed it to him.
yeah, let's see. Well, actually no. Let me make my case and then you can think of, because I know your one
I
brain
like it.
your
I
one
like
brain
it.
cell is gonna be bouncing around. Um First of all, I mean, JB, you alluded to the additions they've made. Like Carlo, Tanev. I would even say Oliver Ekman Larson. Like that's been the main need of this team for like 5 years. Is like their D is a joke. Like remember the days of Jake Gardiner back there,
Yeah.
just soft as puppy shit. Like they needed some guys who not only are big and physical, but also can play the game well. Which Carlo's kind of, he takes heat for maybe he's not the most physical, but I mean, he's a great fit for what that team needs. Like, just play defense, buddy. Break the puck out and try to stifle offense. Tanev's been great. Their power play is a video game power play. They use five forwards. If you watch their power play, it's nuts. I mean, they're probably the closest to. I would call them almost like the Celtics of the. If anyone watches basketball, I know you two probably don't, but they're like the Celtics of the NHL. They're almost like an all-star team, and in my opinion, they kind of figured out their defense and their goaltending. So I'm all in on Toronto.
Yeah,
Jake,
yeah.
yeah,
The Celtics actually win though, so I don't think that's a good comparison.
yeah, but how long did they lose for? Like they won once last year.
They won in what was it 2010, 2009? So that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah,
Opposed
but
to
we're not talking
Mike,
like you can't really talk about the whole organization. Like you're just saying they're a joke through and through forever.
who the Leafs?
Yeah, like they can never win a cup, or is
Come
it just
on, let me mediate this because we're getting into
Um,
the weeds here. Like I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mike. I think you're bringing it up in the sense of like a modern day like Celtics. Like you look at what the Celtics are right now, the big names that are on the team. I
yeah?
get Jake's side of it, right? The
no,
production
I
is
know
a
what he
big
means.
part of it.
I was just fucking around with him.
Okay, I
But
was I was confused as what you were going for, but yeah, thanks for jumping in to mediate that because we were probably getting a little lost in the sauce. But yeah, just like the fact they have Tatum, Brown, White, like they got depth. Like the Leafs have Marner, Matthews, Nylander, Tavares, Nyes, then Morgan Riley on D, Domi, like they're pretty stacked. So um, yeah, Jay, I mean, is your whole argument just going to be that they're a joke?
no, I mean, to my actual argument, I just don't think this core four can win together. I don't know what it is. I guess obviously the history of it speaks for itself, but I just don't think it works. I mean, I don't think you blow it up, but I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see this year. I don't know.
But that's kind of the
I'm not
question then.
sold
Like
on it. I'm really
what
not.
what pushes them over the edge then?
You think they got to lose Mitch Marner?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm like, I'm iffy on him because sometimes he really impresses me, and then sometimes I'm like, oh, this guy, they can't win with this guy.
I agree
Um,
definitely
I
with
mean,
that.
I think this year is definitely their best chance. I like Stolarz in net. I think he really does give them a good chance to win every night. Their defense is definitely better, but I mean, I just don't see it still. I still don't think they're good enough. I most definitely don't think they're good enough to get past Florida.
Mhm.
I mean, most teams aren't, but
Yeah, that's fair.
No, that's what JB said. I agree. I mean, that's the real test, right? I mean, then it'll probably be the final. If they beat Florida, then it's going to be like Colorado, Dallas, one of those two. But anyway, we can
You
move
just
off of that.
use the Chiclets thing. They just end up stamping Carolina, the Eastern Conference.
Yeah. No, I think I said that, dude. What are you mixing me up with Chiclets?
yeah, you're not Rear Admiral.
Jake, you're gonna be. I'm gonna turn you into Rear Admiral real quick if you keep it up. Or kick you off this
What are
fucking.
you gonna start feeding me booze?
No, I'm gonna send you to fucking rehab.
Jake has one of those chokers. Seen it.
I have seen that, dude. This is an audio podcast, but for the people at home, Jake is wearing a choker, like a dog collar. We told him to take it off, but he wouldn't.
Yeah, you caught me in the act. I'm not even really sure what choker you guys are referring to, honestly.
Well, Rear Admiral, one of his last moments was on center ice when the Florida Panthers won the cup, and he was interviewing.
Barkov, dude, with a choker on.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't see the choker. I saw the clips of him acting like an absolute idiot on
dude,
the
for
ice, but
content for this podcast, that's what I'm gonna post is a video of Rear Admiral wearing a choker.
just calling him out.
I'm gonna put your face on
Oh God.
it.
All right, keep
All
it
right,
moving here.
Yeah, let's get
move
back
on,
into
dude.
it.
We can move on.
What do we think Washington in Montreal?
I
What's
mean, I I think the Caps are gonna steamroll them. It's close, but it's 2-0. Just seems like the Habs don't have enough.
I gotta hold on, Jake. I see you're about to hop in. I love the enthusiasm, and I'm gonna bring this back to the OG pod, the one that started it all. You brought it up. When the Habs go back to Montreal, what do we think? Because that
I
place is gonna
think
be rocking. Are they gonna
oh
come out
yeah.
flying?
I think they take game three. I mean, um I think it's gone pretty as expected so far. I think Montreal's keeping it maybe a little bit closer than I anticipated, but I still think it's over in five, maybe six. But and if they bring it to six, they're winning both games at home, and then but
The OG pod that we recorded 7 days ago.
yeah,
Major
It'll
throw.
always be the OG one, dude.
The OG. That's gross. The OG.
but
Yeah,
good series so
kind of
far.
over it though. But I do agree with your point from the OG pod. I mean, that barn is gonna rock. It's kind of like I think we brought it up before, but Winnipeg, some of these teams, but even more so because they haven't been in it for so long. So it'll be fun. I think they can make it a series. I just don't think they're going to be able to beat them, but I don't think they're going to walk over them. I also said that about Ottawa. Ottawa could get swept, but it's one of those like, is it really I mean, it is a sweep, but every game has been super close, you know? So
Can
anyway,
we not talk about how Ovi before this year has never had an overtime playoff goal? I think that's fucking bonkers.
It's crazy.
yeah, that is pretty wild. But I guess
And
honestly, they haven't made the playoffs that much, dude. Am I wrong with saying that?
dude, they made the playoffs like every year from when he came in the league to when he won the cup.
Really? I feel like there was a couple in
Yeah.
there that they missed and they were bad.
Ah, I
I could
mean,
be wrong.
maybe one or two, but
Okay.
he's
Either
been in
way,
the playoffs most
he
of his
won a
career.
cup. He won a cup. He's one of the best. He's the best goal scorer of all time. So it
And
is.
like what a year to do it too. Like you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming.
Oh, dude. Cover the guy back door, by the way. Pick up fucking Alex
Yeah, I
Ovechkin
know.
in overtime.
Brutal. It comes down to experience.
How about talking about another superstar in the series in LA and Edmonton? 2-0 LA. Your boy kind of been predicting this. It's not over, but I mean, I do first want to talk about game one because game one was ridiculous from McDavid. Even though they lost, it was kind of like the playoffs, the finals last year. They got all the way back and just fucking, just so agonizing of a way to loss or way to lose. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that one so far, Jake?
I mean, yeah, that was that to tie the game up and then to lose like that's pretty killer. I can only imagine what Connor was saying in the locker room. But yeah, I mean, I think this series is still far from over. We saw what Edmonton can do when they're down last year. I'm not gonna say I expected LA to win both games at home, but like I said on last pod, they are a very good team at home, and they continue to prove it. Like,
Yeah, definitely. So it'll be the first test to see him go back to Edmonton. And Edmonton's kind of thrown this team together a little bit. I mean, Frederick missed. He just played like his second game for them. Kane didn't play all year. It's kind of a weird lineup. JB, what are your thoughts?
I think the X factor were those harmonicas. Kind of throwing a curveball or throw a wrench in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Jake on this. Honestly, I think it's long from being over. Let's see what they do in Edmonton. Um, who knows? Maybe lit a fire under them. Seems like they do pretty well with their backs against the walls. Agree with you, Mike, too. Getting everyone back into the mix and up to game speed. I mean, that's going to be the hardest part. You kind of hope those guys can come in and just get to it, and you don't have a ton of downtime here where they're not really producing or doing anything in a positive light. So I think it's still a series, and I don't know. It's just hard to root against McDavid. I don't know,
Hmm.
but I think LA wins. I think LA will close it out in six. But
Hmm. I agree. The harmonicas are, I mean, they're proven they're 2-0 with the harmonicas, so we'll see if that continues.
that squad's going to be getting a bag, dude. They're going
Yeah,
to be
they're doing,
traveling with the team. And
yeah, they're gonna fight for every inch, and they should. They might go to arbitration. Rumors are. But yeah, good stuff. I don't really think there's too much else. Am I missing a series? I mean, we talked Florida, Tampa. We talked most of these here.
I think we talked everything. One thing I wanted to bring up um, is the Toronto Ottawa series. It's been close and everything, but like anything on Omar that you guys have seen or thought. I mean, we had him right. Kind of saw the playoff situation, and the record's not great. I mean, is this a guy that they just locked in long term and isn't going to be a playoff guy? I mean, some seem to have it and some don't. But
go ahead,
you got
Mike. I want to
anything
hear what
for
you
me?
have to say.
Funny, I was gonna say the same to you.
Okay, I'll
Uh,
go.
okay, go.
Um, I mean, he's kind of following suit from his playoff days in Boston. I don't think he's been horrible. I don't think he's been good. I mean, there's a couple goals that you definitely want back, but the Sens have not been able to stay out of the box. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, especially game one, it was brutal. Taking like it was three like cross-checking penalties. Like, yeah, I get like you're trying to be physical. A lot of these guys, it's their first time in the playoffs, so they're trying to play a physical game, or maybe some of these guys, it's not really their style. So love to see it. There was a couple weak ones for sure, but yeah, you just got to stay out of the box. That Leafs power play has been humming.
Mm.
So
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, that's probably the worst team to be taking these penalties against. So I agree. I think they just kind of can't really contain the Leafs offensively because, like we said, I mean, they have all the skill, but they've kind of supplemented it with physicality, like just the Nyes, the Domi, the Lawton. They can kind of play that offense whatever way you want to do it. Like they can forecheck and they can score off the rush. So I wouldn't say that Olmark's been like terrible, but I also wouldn't say he's been really good. I wouldn't say that Sens should regret it either, though, because it's hard to find a goalie in this league.
No, they definitely shouldn't regret it.
Yeah,
I mean, first year you got him in the playoffs.
yeah, he's been great
Big step
overall.
for them.
That's a tough team to match up against for the playoff virgins. Uh,
Yeah.
Ottawa.
I will say I think 5-on-5, Ottawa has arguably been better than Toronto. I like the way they've been playing 5-on-5. Like I said, it's just tough when you're in the box for
Yeah,
10 to 15 minutes a night. Like,
because then your power play has to kill too, and it's
yeah.
just like they're not. They haven't been.
And I don't
Nearly
know
fast.
how their power play's been, but I don't think they've really been capitalizing on those man advantage chances.
No. So I kind of said like I think of it kind of like the Capitals in the Habs a little bit. We'll see if the Habs don't lose game 3 here, but um close but just not good enough. So
Ooh,
yeah, one
St.
thing I did want to mention, what
St.
game
Louis scored a sick goal. Sorry, guys.
what game do you have on?
Winnipeg, St. Louis.
Oh, I have Vegas, Minnesota. Um yeah, one thing I wanted to touch on was I don't know if you guys really listen to the broadcast or the intermission stuff, but I usually don't. And I started with the playoffs. I think PK Subban does a really good job. He's really entertaining to listen to. And I was actually saying this to JB when I saw him, but Mark Messier doesn't do it for me. Guy's a legend, but just to me, he's just not really. I don't know. He just kind of says whatever cliche comes to his head. So I don't know. Maybe he'd be better in management or something, but I don't really know why he's sitting on TV in front of a camera. But PK Subban is great. Kevin Weeks is great. Those have been two takeaways that I've had that were kind of non-hockey
I
related.
mean,
Yeah.
you were talking about beef earlier, dude, with the whole Rantanen thing. I mean, I think Messier wants to absolutely rip Subban's head off sometimes. He won't even look at him, dude, on the broadcast.
It's a good point. I did notice that. Yeah, he's mincing words.
Yeah. Just, I don't know. It seems like he's holding back sometimes, but
100%.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that panel that much. I think the TNT broadcast is way better.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I just wanted to make a point. I never really gave Subban a chance because I don't watch ESPN, but I think he does a pretty good job. He's entertaining. He's wearing a nice suit, but definitely TNT. I mean, if you got Gretzky and Bizanet is just he's a legend, dude. What that guy has done as a fourth line plug in the NHL, um, he's just one of the most entertaining guys in the game.
All right, boys, I want to do like a little segment. It's studs and duds from each series. You got to pick one stud, one dud. Let's hear it.
Just to say it too, I don't know if you guys see it, but we got 340 left in this. So we got to go quick. Next time
Super quick.
we'll try to figure it out so we don't have a time limit, but yeah, so hit me. What do you got? What's your
All
stud?
right, start Toronto Sens.
I would say stud would be Stolars, and I would say dud would be Olmark because I don't think he's been really helpful to them overly.
yeah, I'd go agree with Allmark, so that's my dud, but I'm going Domi. I think he's been a dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to actually agree with you on both of these, Mike. I think the goalies have been the studs and duds. So Stolars and Olmark.
You know what? And we probably won't have time for all this, but I don't think Brady Kachuk has been really good either. And not trying to be a hater, man, but I think we all kind of were hoping for a little bit more, and I think he's maybe a little reckless and not as impactful. Like he took a penalty tonight, kind of a bad one, but maybe he's a
He's
little bit.
fighting an injury too.
He could be, most likely
I feel like
is.
he got banged up
I
towards the
honestly
end of
wouldn't
the
be
year.
surprised if he's still a little bit hurt from Four Nations.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean both of those brothers, dude. I mean Kachuk, or not? I can't say Kachuk, but Matthew seems
yeah.
Like he's fine, but no, I agree with that. Brady, but that's the inexperience too, right?
Yeah.
We just spent time talking about Toronto and how many years it's taken them to even,
Get out of the first round.
yeah, just like put something together or at least be confident with what you have on paper. So I think it'll take them some time, but
All right, give me Habs, Caps. Who we got?
I would say a stud. I would say it's a tough one. There's a lot on the Capitals. I would probably say I'm gonna give it to the Habs though. I'm gonna say Nick Suzuki. He's a stud. And for a dud, I'm gonna say Patrick Laine.
Jake, let's hear it.
Yeah, I mean, those are actually two guys I was gonna pick. I'm gonna stick with Line for the dud. I mean, he got benched in the third period the other night, in overtime, I believe.
Mhm.
And then for stud, I'm actually gonna go with Montembeau. I thought Montembeau's been really good, even though they're down 2-0. I think that guy's really stepped up and keeps it close every game.
I agree. There's been a couple goalies that I didn't really know what to think of, and they've impressed me. He was one, Blackwood, Freddie, Bennington's been solid too. But yeah,
Yeah, I think stud. I'll probably go Ovi. Jake, you brought up the point about him scoring that overtime goal. I think he's been a dog the age that he's at, and then also just, I mean, I was pretty much one of the first ones to say that I thought that they might have peaked with all the events going on towards the end of this year with Ovi breaking the record and everything, but they're rolling right now. So I'm gonna go stud Ovi. I mean, I guess I'll just stay with the train. I don't know too much of what's going on with Montreal, but I guess I'll agree with Line.
he's the best answer for that. All right, guys. I don't want to cut us short, but I think it's going to anyway. So, I'm glad we did this. We'll do another.